Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Amanda T here on Create Your Future. I'm so grateful you're here. I have a fantastic video for you today. I'm sorry, I'm trying really hard not to sneeze. I have a fantastic video for you today about taking action. I wanted to do this video for a long time, and I was in session with a client, and it inspired this video, so I'm hoping it will help you. I do intend that you all like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. I do respond to the comments. I can be a little slow. I apologize. I'm picking up on that. And without further ado, let's just jump right into topics. So a few days ago, I had one of my best clients. She's so beautiful. She's so intelligent, but she's absolutely paralyzed with fear. And it's not the first time I've encouraged her to take action, but this time we actually did it together. So you guys, there are several times where it's great to take action. And in fact, if you look at the laws of the universe, almost every single one says actions, the actions you take. The law of assumption, the law of attraction, perpetual transmutation of energy, and I don't know the rest off the top of my head, but the obstacle is the way. That which blocks the way becomes the way, right? Florence Scovel Shinn, my book is missing. I always let people borrow it, but she talks about digging your ditches. And there's no better way to dig your ditches in a manifestation than to literally show up for it and take the action yourself. So we're in session. Excuse me. And she has a new SP, and she's super excited about him. And everything was so green flag and looking so great from the outside. But her mind was trapped in the loop and trying to force her to believe that this was just the slow beginnings of actually things falling apart. And I said, that's not what I'm seeing here. You're showing me text messages. You're telling me dates of phone calls, sending pictures and things. Now, while this all sounds very positive, and she would agree that it was, like I said, she was in underwater. She was way over her head with her fears. And I said, we went over everyone as you pushed out. We went over affirmations. We went over mental diet. We went over the 3D. And she was just so afraid. And I said, okay. That's not what you need right now. Let's do an exercise. I said, while I'm here with you, let's do it together. Let's text him. So we came up with a message together, and it took some convincing, but we came up with a message together. And she sent it. I'm trying not to go too much into detail, but she sent the message. And while we were in session talking, he didn't just reply once, but he replied 5 times. He replied 5 times in a row. She was so ecstatic. She was so happy. She was so grateful. And I said, that's how that's a great way to know you're in way over your fears, and your manifestation could definitely start turning out that way if you keep giving in to them. You're looking for every little thing that your brain could say, oh yeah, oh, see, I knew that was going to happen. See, they weren't for real. See, they weren't serious. You need to blow those away like gnats. Like, no, go away. Shoo, those are just fears. Just fears. Don't give them any credit, because that gives them weight. That gives them belief. That gives them the power to manifest. Shoo, fly. No, that's not what's happening here. Because you can look at anything. People will talk about other videos. Like, I don't even want to say it because it's such a limiting belief. Like, if you like someone and you start manifesting for them, they're going to find someone else. That's never been my experience. I don't even know what to say to that. That's just full of limiting beliefs. And you can get them from any source. So a great way to take action, a great thing to do is to take action, to dig your ditch, to say, I'm showing up in this reality. This is what I want. I am the center of the universe, or I am the universe experiencing myself. However you want to say it, I get to choose. I get to choose. And there's no better force in the world. There's no greater manifestation than me just stepping up and saying, hey, I've never had it go wrong, not once. So that was one example with client in session. And it was a good example, right? Because actually she did have everything going for her. So it's a great time to take action. There shouldn't be a whole bunch of fears about wanting to do that, because almost none of my clients want to take action unless they've had a couple of sessions. They're very afraid of it. Can't it just come to me? Can't I just do this? Can't it just show up? Well, yeah, absolutely. But full power is knowing that I can manifest it and I can step into it, full embodiment. So another great way to explain this to you. So for example, I had an old SP several years ago, and we had started seeing each other, and it was very Netflix and chill at his house, or he'd started coming to my house, but it wasn't going like down the date path, and I wasn't liking it. And so we're making plans to see each other, and he says, I don't know, something like, can I bring XYZ over? And I said, you know, that's really nice, but I'd like to go out. I'm not so interested in just this. I'd like to go out. And it did take him a little bit to respond, but I kept on my mental diet, and I knew that what I wanted was true. And sure, I could have kept affirming for it. I could have kept manifesting for it, but we were already texting each other continuously. We were already seeing each other casually and things like that. There was no reason for me to be afraid and to hold that back. And by me actually putting myself out there, being vulnerable and saying, I want to go out to dinner with you, didn't only get me out to dinner the next night, but got me asked on vacation, got me introduced to family members, all the stuff I wanted. Another time, actually just recently, I got asked out very recently because the person I had known each other for a while, and we were talking, and I said, you know, if you had asked me out in the past, I would have said yes, you know. And they said, oh, well, and then they took the opportunity. I showed that the door was a little open. You know, I threw it out there. So it's not always a negative thing to take action. If you're reacting and taking action with a reaction, we can still turn that all around. But actually taking action is more like if you're going to start going to college or something like that, right? You decide where you want to go. You've made the decision mentally. So the mental diet's already kind of there. And then you submit the application. And then you start submitting for classes once you're accepted. And you start, after you put your foot in the door, you keep doing more and keep doing more. It's a continuing process of you showing up, saying, this is the reality I want. This is the direction I want. This is where I'm going. This is what I've chosen for myself. Let me know in the comments if you have taken inspired action and if it has worked for you. I know it has definitely worked for that client, and it's definitely worked for more of my clients as they felt more comfortable, but that was the first time in session. Congratulations to her. Thank you so much. Oh, I do have a success story. I forgot to read it this time. I will read it next video. I intend this helps everyone. Love you so much. Bye-bye.